This is the Living in Mid-Bloom podcast, lighthearted and heartfelt conversations about what it looks like to live, heal, and blossom in middle age. I'm your host, April Pruitt. Let's get our bloom on. Hey, mid-bloomers, what's going on? Long time no talk to, my friends. I am so looking forward to season 2 coming up next month. It's supposed to be this month, but stuff happens. But I've got some great guests coming up and some interesting episodes that I can't wait to share with you. So I hope you are all well and taking good care of yourselves. This summer's just about over. So for those of you who regularly listen to my podcast, you know that I am open and honest about my personal journey through so many things: therapy, my passions, losses I've experienced, friendships changing, and many other things. And this is no different. This is a teaser. A full episode about this will be coming up in the next week or so. Now, one thing I've always said, and it's part of my summary about my podcast: in order to grow, we must reveal our truth and stand in it. I am brave. It doesn't mean I'm not afraid. I love myself for where I was and where I am. I also talk about my continued struggles with my self-care. I still struggle because there continues to remain some doubt inside me about who I am and what I deserve in my life. When you've lived in an atmosphere where you're not valued and you've been manipulated most of your life, it's learning a new way of thinking. I've been working on myself for years. And as I get closer to living my passion and what I feel I've been called to do, there's still that old voice that easily says, "Fool." It's familiar, but it's not the truth. At times it sounds right, but what else do we know? We are worth caring about. It may be a new message for some of you, but it's the truth. Revel in this, because that's what I have to do for myself. It's not easy. I've never said any of this was easy, but one step at a time, 1 foot forward, 2 backward, 5 sideways, 3 forward. We talk so much about the mind and soul, but it's the body, mind, and soul connection. It's been brought to my attention through this recent health scare that I have left my body out of the picture regarding self-care. Yep, so last month I had a major health scare. Could it have been prevented? What could I have done to avoid it? Now that I'm middle-aged, is this an issue I should have focused on years ago? Does being a diabetic, which I am, increase my risk for something like this? Does that mean I'm still walking around unconscious? Are my addictive issues related to food to blame for this? Does any of this ring any bells, whether it's you personally or someone you love? I'll be discussing this with my friend Victoria, who was the second person I saw when the EMTs were taking me out of my house and to the ambulance. The first person I saw was her husband, Greg. Mid-bloomers, be kind to yourselves, be brave, and love yourselves. I'm looking forward to our continued connection and you hearing more about this story. Thank you for joining me today on Living in Mid-Bloom. I hope you found this episode insightful, meaningful, and maybe it's given you something to think about. I invite you to share your positive reviews or ideas on topics you would like me to touch on by leaving your comments on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Podchaser, or Podcast Addict. We are all divine beings who just want to be seen, heard, and loved. Have a beautiful day.